Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your host, Tony Cañas. And today I have with me Ryne Ring from Bunker. And of course, I didn't have everything open, head of insurance at Bunker. Ryne, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome. So we are recording on Monday, April 18th, 2022. Right after the Easter weekend, so getting back to it. So first of all, thank you for joining me today. And by the way, you are in Wisconsin, right?
Oh yeah, Sunshine State. Woke up to a fresh 1 inch of snow this morning. Late April.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Late April in the upper Midwest. It might be beautiful, or you might literally have snow.
Yep, that's us.
Gotcha. Ryne, so we always give the guest the chance of giving kind of the elevator pitch. What is Bunker?
Yeah, Bunker is what I'd call an Insurtech turning agency. I've always kind of been deemed that Insurtech. I'm sure a lot of people listening be like, "Oh, Bunker, I thought they were dead." Nope, we're not dead. Kind of light of Easter Sunday yesterday, where resurrection's coming.
I do have to say, out of 300 and some episodes I've recorded, or we've recorded, I've only recorded like 200 and some of those. I don't believe we've ever had anybody come on to say, "Hey, I'm with an Insurtech that people thought was dead."
Yeah.
So that's a fantastic intro. I'm sure that captures people's attention. So I love it. Okay, so yeah. So what do you mean?
Yeah, no, let me go into that. So I just say that because we haven't raised funds for a while, and that usually keeps people in the forefront of your mind. But we are a retail broker. We're focused on the freelance, independent contractor, gig work, side hustles, especially when they are contractually required. So how we started as a company, their founder, Chad Nitschke, we kind of identified two problems in the market. One of those problems was people that required insurance typically had a really terrible time doing so. They would probably throw your COI in a PDF folder. They would never look at that again. Maybe they'd use Excel, and they'd probably never look at that again either. And we saw that was just a mess. And then when they gave you the requirements, people were like, "What? Like, what do you want me to buy? I don't understand that." And then kind of that second problem is the person that had to buy insurance. They were reading through this contract saying like, "I don't understand a word about this," in the insurance section. And then they were going to multiple agencies, multiple websites. They would most of the time buy the wrong type of insurance or the wrong limits. They would give their COI back to the company that was requiring it. It'd be wrong. They'd go back and forth for sometimes weeks trying to get the right coverage. So what we did is we digitalized insurance requirements. We gave people kind of a cloud-based system to manage COIs. And then we started to procure the insurance exactly how the contract states, so that you can get to work. Make sure to get that COI correct the first time.
Okay. So certificates of insurance or COIs, nobody likes them. Like quite clearly, they're just not very good at what they're supposed to do. So what one piece that I'm curious how it works is, okay. So if I'm a contractor, a subcontractor, right? I know nothing about construction, but I'm a painter, right? And that one's very low risk, I'm imagining, but whatever, a plumber. Okay, so the contractor that I'm going to do the work for gives me a contract. So do I literally submit the contract on the website and it figures out what insurance I need, or how do you help with that piece of it, the what type of insurance I need?
Yeah, so in that case, we would try to work with the general contractor to digitalize the requirement. and we would say like,
Oh,
this
okay,
is
okay, that makes much more
impossible to
sense.
read. And we would essentially turn the contract into a hyperlink and say, hey, subcontractor, this is exactly what you need to buy. Here's an option from Bunker if you need an option. But we kind of, let them up in the air as far as that. But we, like I said, we make sure that when, we get the request, like we know exactly what you need on your COI. We know exactly what coverages, what endorsements. We're not going to be coming back and forth to you 3 or 4 times to make sure you got the right stuff. Then that general contractor has faith that, they don't have to put up with the headache of us missing out.
Okay. Okay. So the system, the cloud-based system that helps the contractors manage those COIs.
Yeah.
Is that something that the contractor is paying to access, or basically the revenue model is based on they end up buying insurance from you, and their subs end up buying insurance from you?
Yeah, so that's kind of the Insurtech turned agency part, Tony, is we learned, what makes money is selling insurance. So we're putting more focus on kind of that part of the business. Like I said, making sure we get contractors the right insurance, and a little less focus on the black hole of software that most companies have. So, it's a couple different models on the software side. We're kind of turning that into like a self-use tool as like a, hey, here you go. This is a nice to have. But we ran into a period of time where we were dumping a lot of money in the software. We kind of made it a little Frankenstein of everything that everyone asked us to do, we would do it. And now, I think the business model is starting to shift in the right way of, hey, what we're good at is procuring insurance. And I think a lot of companies can build really cool software, but it doesn't really turn up in sales. And that's what we're here to do now, kind of bring back we have a cool software that works, but it works because we can sell insurance off of it.
Okay. So the software was created, was marketed, and then the pivot was creating the agency, or was the agency already there, or did you go out and buy an agency in order to do the agency piece?
No, they actually came at the same time, but I would say the pivot is more in the focus of pivot. The focus used to be on the software side, like let's make a software revenue based company, and let's try to get some software margins, and let's try to go raise money at a software level. But what pays the bills is buying and selling the insurance. So I think more of the pivot is really just kind of a minor shift, and hey, let's figure out some insurance solutions. So like some of that shift is going into like custom insurance products now. So there's a lot of people who have a really hard time finding the insurance they need for the certificates. So we've created a couple custom based systems for a specific member to use. Like if someone who's using the software, if they say, hey, we still have a really hard time finding insurance for our independent contractors, we can build some custom insurance programs on the back of that. We've also, about a year into Bunker, we ran into situations where companies would say, hey, we have a lot of independent contractors, but it's all gig work. Like we can't make somebody buy a $500 work comp policy for a year when they may work for us once in a month and decide it's not for them, or they may work for us twice in a month or once in a year. Like we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so at that point, we shifted away from, well, they can't use our software, so let's try to figure out how we can do some custom usage-based insurance plans with some of these companies to obtain the same goal, get everybody insurance that needs insurance. We're just going to do it in a different way. And that's kind of our, what I'll call like our no-code embedded insurance programs, where you don't have to waste time 6-7 months working with your IT team and figuring out where this fits on the product roadmap. Like those are usually insurance programs that we can get going in less than a month.
Okay. And who so the program are
Speechless, Tony.
Yes, correct. Which is very rare. Very rare. So
Where can I bring some clarity into what we do?
so are you partnering with carriers to create those programs?
Yeah, we are. We're partnering with carriers, MGAs, and yeah, I think that's probably like one reason I think you kind of get that, like, okay, well, that's a lot of stuff going on, is because, I think most insurtechs focus on one thing, and do it really well, and we've kind of created kind of an ecosystem, for gig workers, freelancers, independent contractors, where, if one thing doesn't work, then we're going to try to work in some other type of solution there. So we're not typically just like a one hit wonder, or we kind of have this one thing. We really try to look at, you have all these independent contractors, they all need insurance. Let's figure out how we make that work. Does that work through the software, giving them individual policies, giving them those traditional general liability, professional liability policies? Or is this a unique case where we really need to hunker down and build something unique and completely custom for you?
Okay. So how did like your own career has been is interesting. I talked to a lot of Insurtech leaders, and so you came from American family, right? A big Wisconsin large company, and then you spent some time doing training before coming over to Bunker. So tell me a little bit about your path.
Oh man, my path goes further back than that, and it's pretty twisted. Gosh, I mean, I can start with, I'm from a really small town, 2,500 people in southern Indiana. So my mom, she owned her own real estate company, a mom and pop shop. So I kind of watched her as a business owner, and a couple of my uncles and aunts had businesses. I went to Indiana University. I failed out of business school, Tony. I don't know how many Insurtech leaders will tell you they failed out of business school, but I certainly did. I got my C in accounting and kicked me out of the Indiana University Business School because I was running a business full-time out of college. I actually bought a small diner in my hometown when I was a freshman in college, and I was doing that full-time. So restaurant owner at the age of 19. I didn't do that very well, that's for sure. But then graduated college, and my first job was with an American Family agent selling personal lines. And at that point, I didn't even know what a deck page was, Tony. Like, he'd be like, "Have you ever shopped for insurance before?" And I was like, "No, I'm still on my mom and dad." I'm like, I don't know what any of this means. So I did that for $14 an hour. I just got married. So I had moved to Madison, Wisconsin, got married, was working for $14 an hour selling personal lines insurance. But at that point, the district manager was throwing out a bonus. Like, if you sold X amount of policies, that he would give a CSR, like I was a CSR, I wasn't an agent, a bonus. And I was like, oh yeah, like, I'm broke. I just graduated college. I just got married. I've got no money. Like, I am going to ace that sales pitch. And I did. And so I did that really fast, and I learned it really well. And my agent was focused on commercial insurance, which is why he had me in personal. And I just loved commercial insurance. Like, he would always bring me in on meetings. He would always bring me on some trips and phone calls. But then I had a kid, and I needed to get my own health insurance pretty fast because I was still in my parents. Imagine that at 23. So I went to American Family Corporate, and it's right across the pond in Madison here. So I worked in their brokerage division for a few years. We're their wholesale division, brokerage division, where we place risk with companies that were not American Family for American Family agents. That's where I really took off in my commercial insurance space.
Okay, so why leave American Family?
Because I hated it.
I've gotta say, generally a well-liked company.
Yeah.
Based on
Okay.
most of the
So
people I ran into.
I'll preface like American Family is a great company. Like I liked working there as a company. The division I was in, I think everyone in the company would tell you is like horrible.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
I'm kind of unapologetic when I say that. So you can not edit that out. You can edit that out, whatever you want to do. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of, you'll hear from like other Insurtech people, like the resistance to change, the lack of innovation, like that stuff just kind of ate at me for the longest time. To where I was like, I've got to get out of here and where I can spread my wings a little bit. And then the first company that offered me a job when I was applying out of American Family was this, it was a small, it's a farm insurance company essentially here in Wisconsin. And I just said like, hey, I just want to get out of here at American Family, put me in wherever you want to. They put me in as a trainer for their new agents. And I was like, well, yeah, I could do that. I could teach people commercial insurance. So I did that for 4 months until I didn't really like that either, Tony. And then Bunker called me, and then that's when I fell in love.
So what is it about the Insurtech side that is so attractive versus your first several experiences?
Yeah, I think for me is, I wasn't boxed in. I can do whatever I want. I can kind of shape things the way I want to shape. Like when I came to Bunker, I think I was the second insurance advisor hired, maybe second or third. And so there really wasn't anything set in stone of how you had to do it. We had we didn't have a whole lot of carrier appointments. And nobody there really had the depth of knowledge of the commercial insurance space that I did. So I immediately came in, felt like I got to influence kind of the direction, got to influence products. I just felt like, when you work hard at an Insurtech or any kind of startup, like it pays off because, it's very noticeable when everybody's working their hardest, everybody's putting in their best. And the whole company feels it at that point. So I love the startup adrenaline. I love the startup kind of culture. I never knew at a company, which we were, consider like a tech company, that you could play Super Smash Brothers during work and it's like considered a good thing. And I was like, oh yeah, like this is the stuff. So I just fell in love. Like I love the culture. I even love the stress that comes with startup life.
So before we lose 2/3 of the Gen Zers in the audience to Insurtechs, while Insurtechs can be a lot of fun, there's a lot of grinding too in general, right? So don't leave traditional insurance because you think you'll be playing video games all day.
Yeah, that's right. You work hard, play hard
for sure, but there's definitely a lot of grinding to get something off the ground.
Oh, you bet. Yeah, there is no asking like, well, who here does this? Nobody does. You better do it. And my whole boss said, like, never come to me and ask me like, or say like, that's not my job, because that's probably nobody else's job either. You better figure it out. But that's part that I love. I love the grind.
Makes sense. Yeah, it looks like it's just a great personality fit. And at this point, you 4 years at Bunker at this point.
Yep, almost 4 years.
So yeah, that's a significant amount of time. I mean, for Insurtech terms, that makes you a veteran.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So awesome. Okay. Normally I ask, is there anything that's coming down the future of Bunker? Is there anything you want to talk about? Well, anything that you can talk about when it comes to what else are you guys doing? Since you guys recently pivoted, it completely understand if like nothing is likely to change.
No, I think a lot of things are going to change. Tell you the truth, like, yeah, I think with kind of our new focus, like we're in high growth mode again, like we're ready to go. Like I said, like the reason we haven't, I guess, been in kind of the names of the sexy players in the space is probably because we haven't went out and raised funds for a while. Like we're crossing that profitability line, so we're just in a really different position than a lot of other insurtechs, and I feel like it's a great position. So, next for us, lots of carrier integrations. I'll shout out to Herald API. Everybody, hope check them out. Who's helping us plug in some APIs this summer to different carriers to automate some more of that contract-based insurance procurement. We're also investing pretty heavily in all the usage-based things I was talking about too. So I've hired a couple of producers on that side of the business, so that I can focus on kind of all new lead gen as far as that goes, and then kind of building out more and more of that usage-based program. So
I
yeah.
I think ultimately profitability is much more important than growth, and unfortunately, a lot of insurtechs have done that backwards. Just the whole startup model, the tech startup model, right? Historically has been based on growth, and in insurance, it's very hard to make a fast-growing book profitable once you need to switch that to flip that switch. So I think profitability is
it's sexy to me, Tony. It
the
may not be
long term,
sexy to
it's
the
very
the
important.
fundraisers out there, but I always say I'm not a founder, but I sure am a survivor.
Awesome. Ryan, thank you very much for coming on to tell us a little bit about Bunker. Great name, by the way. And best of luck to you guys. Thank you.